Welcome. Today we are doing a very important topic which will help you for a long run, and it is called as current electricity. So it goes something like this. First let's understand what is the important component you require here in current electricity, and we'll be discussing about electrons. Not only electrons, but we'll be discussing more about the free electrons. How do we get free electrons? In an atom, the free electrons are the electrons which are in the outermost orbits. Some part of chemistry you require to understand over here before you go ahead in to understand the topic current electricity in depth. So basically, what are free electrons? They are located in the outermost orbit and they easily leave their octet when they get some amount of energy. So when I am talking with regard to free electron, they have their own thermal energy, and every such free electrons in an atom has a thermal energy which has almost the velocity of 10 to the power 6 meter per second. So due to such a thermal energy, they keep on moving inside a conductor or inside a metal. Now, if you look at one simple example about the chemistry, I will show you. It's sodium, which has electronic configuration of 281. This particular electron can be easily removed out of a sodium metal. This electron will be called as a free electron. But the moment this sodium atom gives one electron out, more positive charges will be available. That means the number of protons will be more in sodium. So we write this as Na+. Na+ indicates it's a positive ion now. Already one electron is given. This electron which is given will be my free electron. And these free electrons, what we get from number of atoms, constitutes the current. Now you will think, why I am teaching all this? This concept of positive ions and free electrons plays the major role in constituting the electric current. So let's move ahead and see how they play the major role. Let us say that I have a metallic conductor. Let us connect this particular metallic conductor to a battery, which is denoted this way. This is my battery and this is my plug key. The moment this particular battery is connected to the given metal, there are already few electrons inside the metal, and these free electrons are vibrating with that thermal energy which I explained you. But they do not have a confined direction. Since electrons are negatively charged particles, the moment they are connected to the battery, let's say these electrons will start to move in a particular direction. And which direction? They are negatively charged, so they move towards the positive terminal of the battery. So every electron over here, they get now into a particular confined direction. So they will start moving in this. Now, since they got the energy, they move towards the positive terminal and the circuit gets completed. But in an electrical circuit, we always show the conventional flow of electric current in the direction opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. See, electrons are moving in this direction. The direction of the electric current will be shown in the opposite direction. Conventional electric current direction is this. Now, since electrons are moving in this particular direction, as I already told you, if an atom gives out the electron, it becomes positively charged ion. So when there are n number of atoms over here, which has given all these free electrons, there will be now few positive ions also inside this. Since there will be positive ions inside this, all these electrons which are free to move, they get collided with these positive charges, and the direction for very short time interval changes. For example, this particular electron, it gets collided with this positive ion, then the direction gets changed. Again they get confined in the same direction because they have to move towards the positive charge. Now again they get collided somewhere here, so they keep on colliding. So n number of these electrons, they collide with the positive charges. The more there will be collision, the more will be the heat energy. The more will be the heat energy, the more will be the resistance of the given wire. So we came to the first physical term of current electricity, which is resistance. So basically resistance means is the obstruction offered to the flow of electrons. Now who is providing them the obstruction? It's positive charges. So positive charges are providing the obstruction to the flow of electrons. So due to that there will be more heat energy. More heat energy means there will be more resistance. So we need to select the conductors in such a way that their resistance should be negligible or as low as possible. Otherwise such conductors will never be acting as the best conductors to conduct the electricity. So our first term what we have learned is the resistance. So resistance is basically called as the obstruction offered to the flow of electrons by the positive ions inside the wire. This is my first term. Let's come to the another term which is again very important over here, and that term what we come is to this part. This is nothing else but a battery, but if I connect or I show in the symbol form this way, it means a cell and it is denoted as E. So two or more such cells, if you look into this particular diagram, there are 1, 2 and 3 cells. These 3 cells are connected next to each other. That means they are called as a series connection. So in this particular series connection, cells converts into the battery. This battery provides the energy for the electrons to move. Now, this battery what we have connected is nothing else but called as the source also. So let's look at the next concept, which is potential difference. Now, when I say potential difference, to understand this, you need to understand something what we called as potential. Let's look at what does potential means over here. Okay. Now, since these electrons got the energy to move around the circuit, who provided the energy? It's the battery. Correct? Now, these electrons are nothing else but they are charges. So what is done over here is that it's the work which is done. Now who had done the work? These charges. Okay. Now work is done on this particular charge. Like how is the work done by such charges? Work is done on the charge to move, and therefore work done on such a charge is defined as potential. So potential is basically nothing else but it's the work done on bringing a charge. So if I want to explain you in short what does this potential is all about, so let's go to very basic concept over here. Let's say I have one source charge plus Q, and this source charge has a field somewhere up to this point. Let's say up to this point A. This plus Q charge has a field up to this point A. Now if I have one more plus Q charge, let us say that this charge is my test charge, and I bring this particular test charge from some point close to this field. That means actually I am doing the work on this particular charge to bring up to this field. But you can notice that this source charge has its field up to this much vicinity. And this particular plus Q charge is out of the vicinity. So if I take this plus Q charge over here, it's out of the vicinity of this field. So if I do the work in bringing this particular charge, but we say this particular charge is nothing else but it is at infinity. So what is basically the meaning of infinity? Infinity doesn't mean that it's far away from us. Infinity in this case is with respect to this source charge. Source charge has its field up to some point. Any charge which is beyond its field is actually at infinity. So to bring this particular charge from an infinity up to the field, somewhere up to the field in this, let's say it's point B. So we have done actually nothing else but work is done, and this work done is called actual potential. So potential's actual definition means that work done in bringing a test charge. We don't know what is the charge over here. It may be positive, negative. So we say basically test charge, but we take this test charge as a unit test charge. So work done in bringing a unit test charge from an infinity up to the given point is called as potential. Now, if the same charge which is in the field, let's say that this particular charge is inside the field. Now there will be obviously force of repulsion between them, because it's plus Q, this is also plus Q, there will be a force of repulsion. So we will be doing some work on this to keep or to bring it closer to the source charge against the force of repulsion. Since we are bringing this particular charge from one point up to the other point, let's say from point A to the point B, in such a case we say that this is nothing else but it's a potential difference. So potential difference means nothing else but a work done on a test charge to bring it from one point to other point in the field. So there is a difference between the potential and the potential difference. Potential difference, we always talk with respect to the 2 points in the field. But when we talk with regard to potential, we say the relation between the infinity and the point inside the field. I hope you are getting it. What is resistance? What is potential difference? Okay, let's move ahead. So, the next concept will be, alright, so the next concept what we will be doing is very much known to you, and this is called as electric current. You may think, why I am teaching after two important topics? Because to understand this electric current, we need to understand what is potential difference and what is resistance. So what is this electric current is? In this case, what is the charge which is moving? The charge which is moving is electron. So electron plays the important role in getting the electric current out of any given closed circuit. So electric charge per unit time is called as my electric current. I can denote it with I or with capital I. So electric current is defined as the rate at which the charge flows, the charge per unit time. So what is the charge over here? This is the electron. So electrons has a relation with electric current. Now these charge are measured in the unit coulomb. Time is measured in the second. So we write the unit of electric current as coulomb per second, or it is denoted as ampere, because the concept of this electric current was found out by a scientist, Ampere. So the unit was named as ampere, and this can be called as SI unit. Either this can be used as SI unit, or coulomb per second can also be used as an SI unit. So we did three important terms of this particular chapter. The first we did was resistance, the second potential difference, and the third was electric current. After this there are many such terms, important terms, but we'll do it in the next class. Thank you. Keep watching and like and subscribe.